What's going on, people? My name is Aaron, and welcome to UX Crypto. I hope all of you are doing well out there today. So today I've got a really cool one for you. I'm going to go through a couple of the Gala Games Killers, right? You might think that, oh no, Gala's not going anywhere. It might not, right? But the market cap might be there for the taking. So that is what this is all about. It's about opportunities, right? But you know what? Just before I get into all of that, right? I want to ask you guys to do something for me. Either it's on the live or it's not on the live. All right. But it's this, okay? So I am really close to 3,000 subscribers, right? And you know that song, All I Want for Christmas? All I Want for Christmas is probably 3,000 subscribers. That would be absolutely great. So, subscribe to the channel, and I can promise you, if you're watching that, I will hold my end of the bargain and give you a lot of alpha inside of crypto. So yeah, that would be great. And guess what? 200 videos is now released as well. So, I'm at the 200, which is really cool. But yeah, if you are new here, then yes, press that subscribe. You can see that little gold thing right there just for you. So you can press it, or you can press the red one, up to you. But yeah, but what are we actually going to be talking about? And yeah, that is where we're going to go. So first things first, right? I'm going to give you some price projections as well. So don't worry about that and where I think some of these are going to go. But we are going to go no other than games for a living. Okay. So obviously, if you're new to this channel, or not new to this channel, I'm quite bullish on games for a living. And that is the first Gala Games Killer. Okay. And if you guys were looking for an entry, okay, and if you've been seeing the price go up on GFAL, probably your time. All right. Because if you're looking at this, we're starting to get a pullback, as you can see here. And if you're looking for entries inside of this project, this might be where you want to be looking. But why do I put it in the category of Gala Games Killer? And it is all about narrative, right? And what they're trying to do. And I'm just going to give you some overviews of what I think of the project generally. I reviewed this inside of my cheat sheet, and you can obviously check it out inside of there, in the side of the Patreon. But then just going to give you little gems right now, right? So obviously, a couple of things to note that GFAL does have 2 games out, right? So it says our games. So the ones actually out is Element Raiders, this one right here, which is like the main one they promote, and I think it is Jump Pump, I think, all right? But 2 of them are out, right? But this is the one you're probably going to see a lot more around. And the other ones are due to be coming out, okay? And I'm really excited about this one because I've watched a couple of AMAs with the founders, and this is one which I think is going to be very cool. And if you don't know the background of the team behind GFAL, it is absolute on beast mode. And yeah, really cool. And just to show you some stuff, like obviously GFAL in terms of social following, it does have a little bit of a social following, but nothing absolutely crazy, right? So I still think that GFAL is definitely undervalued. And you might see in other YouTubers' pages that they're talking about it, but I think it just doesn't get spoken about enough of how great a project this is. And obviously you see focus on other things, on other projects, maybe a bit more hype based as well. But if you go through their social media, you can see they're doing a lot of things. Like, you can see a lot of interactions with posts as well. And, they're doing like stuff with esports. You can see, look here, they've got like different winners. So they're out here in the space, which I think is really, really good. But then, the game looks pretty dope, right? This is Element Raiders, so this is actually what they're putting out. And yeah, it seems to be quite a lot of people playing this as well. And you can see the graphics are very cool. Looks very you could say middle demographic, right? So you've got a lot of age ranges what might play this. And the whole idea of GFAL is that you would actually be able to play it on mobile, desktop, and potentially PlayStation, Xbox. So they're covering all bases. And when you ask yourself a question about, oh, can they cover all the bases? Like, do they have the team to do that? Well, that's where we're going next, right? The team. And if you haven't seen the team, well, prepare to be blown away. Okay, so this is one of the main. This is the CEO. Okay, of was it GFAL? Oh, sorry, he's the CSO. So he's the Chief Strategy Officer of GFAL. And you might be thinking, well, who is he, right? But founder and first CEO of Electronic Arts. This might be old news to you, but that's cool. This is the tip of the iceberg. All right. Loads of people, when they show you this, they show you this guy only, and he is dope. I'm not going to say he's not. He is really dope. But then there's a lot more to him, and the team. So obviously he founded Digital Chocolate as well. That's a really big apps company, which put out loads of mobile games. You can see this around 200 million downloads, okay, and also the founder of obviously Electronic Arts. So he's got experience with cross-platform, and he was also a director of product marketing. So this is the stuff that people are not saying to you, like people's experiences. Look at that, that's just crazy, right? And this is basically like when Steve Jobs was around, all right? So he's an OG, absolute crazy OG. But then, this guy right here, this is another guy of their team, and he's the marketing director. Okay. But, look at this experience right here. Marketing director of Gameloft. Gameloft is one of the biggest mobile gaming platforms out there, and he's the marketing director. So obviously, we are expecting big things in terms of the marketing of this project when the bull run kicks in. So I would say, look, you've got one of the best people for this right there. And I bet you didn't know that, okay? Lots of people don't. Another thing, all right, Manal Saw, this guy, OG, okay? So you got CEO, he's and the co-founder of Games for Living, cool. But then this is where it gets very, very interesting, right? So King Games, okay? King Games is Candy Crush, if you did not know that. Also Digital Chocolate, what I just showed you with Trip Hawkins. And yeah, he was a VP and general manager, and he was a vice president of King Games. So Candy Crush is one of the biggest games in the App Store of all time. Okay, so he actually has experience inside of that. So when we talk about cross-platform, we've got EA, we've got Candy Crush, we've got all of that, right? So beast mode of a team right there. And then we've got the COO, co-founder as well. And yeah, also look, Digital Chocolate, you can see right there. So in terms of experience, hands down, this is just an absolute beast of a winner. And yeah, it's crazy, right? But in terms of where do we think this might be able to go in terms of price predictions and all that? So if you've been following me on this channel for a while, I've been calling this one out for a long time. And obviously I've got into GFAL like a 4 million market cap. That's when I first got into GFAL. So I found this early. This channel was all about finding gems early, right? And then riding them. Okay. So I'm still riding this coin out, not taking profits on this anytime soon, just to let you guys know. And yeah, man, riding these projects till the end. Okay. Pause, by the way. But yeah, basically, where do we think this is going to go? So let's get a little bit of projection. So I think, okay, that GFAL, if we was to get to the market cap of Gala right now, we're going to get to 13. We're going to be able to 13.5x, right? It's not including dilution, by the way. Obviously, you might have a different figure if you're including that. But why do I think that? I could just quickly show you. You might have seen my calculations before, but it's good to show you. Actually, I don't even show you what I was showing you. So 1 second. Okay, so if we have got the market cap of where we are right now, right, and then we want to get to Gala. I've not prepared this, so it's a bit on the fly, but let's go to Gala real quick. So Gala currently has a market cap of 800 million, right? 800 million. And if you was looking at GFAL, right, GFAL is at 60, we could say, million, okay? So, we need to do some calculations on that. So if we was to do what I just said to you, so we'll do 60 million, and then we'll times that by 13.5, that gives us 810, right? So very close to Gala right there. And obviously, if I'm going to show you real quick, right, there you go. So that is the potential if we was to get to Gala's market cap right now, okay, not including dilution, obviously. But what if we wanted to go bullish, all right, and we wanted to actually say like a super bullish target? So let me just get this up real quick, the super bullish target. And if we want to see where the all-time high was on Gala, that's what we need to check out, right? So the all-time high, the market cap was at 5 billion, as you can see. It was around about 5.2 billion, but we're just going to say 5 to round it. And then yeah, let's give you a calculation from that, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do 60 million. I think that was 60, right? GFAL. Yeah, around about 60 million, right? We call it that. And then we're going to times that by 83.5. Here you go. Very close, right? 5 billion around about. If we're around, this is calculation in millions, by the way. And yeah, that literally is quite a good little target right there, right? So sliding right, here's your target. Okay, so all-time high of Gala, you could still 83.5x, not including dilution, by the way. So you've got to consider that as well. But obviously, still a lot of gains to be had out of GFAL. So something to think about right there. And yeah, I think it could potentially do it. Another thing is, obviously, if we're going to include dilution, is do we think it could beat, like, what, go way higher than Gala Games market cap? I think it could. Like, I honestly think it could. Like, it's got absolute crazy team, as you've seen, 2 products out already, and we're just getting started, right? Obviously, we've seen a little bit of run up inside the market as of recent times, but I think that's just the recent stuff going on, man. We've still got another 2 years of this bull market. I think you can see a lot more money come into this, right? But yeah, that is that one. So the next one, right, we need to find is going to be no other than Myria. Okay, so Myria right now is obviously got quite a big market cap right now, right? So it is 118 million in market cap, which is actually pretty crazy. As in, but yeah, that's pretty dope. I've actually been covering Myria since 5 million market cap. So if you wanted to know how to find these things early, then obviously you got to check out that cheat sheet, man. So my Patreon is right there. You should definitely join the Patreon, and you can see the type of things we find early and obviously how they progress. So there you go. This is Myria is one of them that we found early inside of here in the Patreon. So yeah, anyway, let's not waffle on. So I want to talk quickly just before we go into anything about some red flags, right? Not necessarily for Myria, more for GFAL. We're going to go into all of the red flags for all of them to give you some alpha, right? So not say anything bad about any of these, right? But GFAL, the only things I would say negative is obviously tokenomics in terms of, could there be better tokenomics? Yep, because obviously the dilution is a bit of a thing there. The other side of it is that, okay, quality of games. I think the quality of games are actually pretty dope. Like, they're good. But yeah, I mean, could we see a lot more games, for example, out of this? And then maybe better quality, possibly. That's something to think about. I'm still very bullish on this. Don't get me wrong, but that's something to think about. And then the other side of it is, the narrative is obviously strong with the team. Yeah, I can't remember the other negative I had about this, right? There's not many, to be honest with you, a GFAL. There's not many, as in but yeah, there's in every project there's always something. But yeah, anyway, we'll go back to Myria. Okay, so Myria obviously showed market cap, and here is Myria. And the pros of Myria, I would say at the moment, is definitely the node system, right? So obviously you can see that they're promoting the node system quite a lot, actually. So the Myria token is live. And then you've got the whole first one is the nodes, right? So you can see where their focus is, because the first thing you see on this, which I've just wiped back to, is become a Myria node owner. So they're trying to promote everyone to get nodes. And this is probably a lot of the power. But with Myria at the moment, you might be like, oh, well, it's a gaming company. Why are you talking about nodes and the power of it, right? Well, technically at this current moment, it's not really a gaming company, okay? And you might think, oh, well, what are you saying, man? What are you saying? It is a gaming company, right? As in, well, no, it is not. All right. So, for example, if you want to click on any game, it's all in development. They haven't got one game actually out. Okay. So, Meta Rush is the one they're meant to be promoting, and you can see in development, there's no way you can play this. Okay. We can go on any of them. So, let's just go into a marketplace. It's like games on the marketplace. That's just NFTs, I think. Let's go to, okay, look, so we go to any game, let's go to action or something, and then we try and find some games. Let's say this one looked kind of cool, but yeah, this is obviously not something you can play, right? So yeah, just things that you need to think about, right? And obviously you've got a lot of third-party games on here that they're promoting, and there's some things like, if we want to talk about red flags or whatever it is, then Fabwell is on Myria, as in, but then Fabwell you can't play it on here, but you can on the actual Fabwell site, right? And it just says in development here. So there's little things. Obviously, I still think it's got potential. If they can pull off being able to produce a whole bunch of games on this, then that's where obviously the node system comes in. It's really, really good from that, right? Because then you would actually benefit if they can pull it off. But I have some observations of obviously watching this project for over a year now, not seeing them produce things come out of it. Only seen one game which they kind of have something in development from Twitter, which I can quickly show you. So this one right here is what is it again? Meta Rush, right? So in terms of like what we're seeing, obviously this is the game, right? But in terms of like, if we're going to look at this game and then look at it compared to some of his competitors, then obviously you have to weigh in the equation of quality and all this other stuff. And I think, yeah, in terms of rating it, it's just all right. Okay. But then, like you're saying, like, it's been a year. This has been a year in making this as one game. Okay. We've got, I think it's over 90 games on there, right? So you need to kind of think about a business strategy behind that, right? Like, how is this going to pan out? And, you know, a lot of hype, I would say, right? Not to say it's bad, all right? Everyone has their own opinions on things, but you have to think about this as well. You can't be not looking at this stuff if basically haven't actually released a product yet. Okay, so yeah, something to think about with that, right? Other stuff that I want to show you as well in terms of I showed you GFAL's team, right? So obviously Myria has some quite interesting stuff as well around this. So Myria, what we should want to look at, okay, is like who's behind them. So this guy right here, all right, Andrew, he's a CTO co-founder. He's a beast, all right. So when you do actually see Myria on the homepage, right, when you see all these brands, all of this stuff, right, obviously you might think, oh wow, this sells it. That's fair play, right? And the guy behind that is probably this guy, right? So look, you can see the director of Ubisoft Technology, and he was also at Next Generation at 2K, which is like the NBA and all that stuff, I think. And then previous to that, he's also worked at EA, so team lead EA, and then Midway as well, another game studio, Activision. So he's like an all-star, right? So definitely props to him, definitely, right? But one thing, obviously, when you talk about red flags or any of that type of stuff, right, is who's representing the company and who's doing the EMAs, who's doing all that stuff, right? So when I actually go and look and have all this stuff I've observed over a year, it's this guy right here, right? So it's not the guy that we are focusing on and looking at. This guy's called Brendan, and he does all the AMAs, right? So obviously he's the one kind of behind it, from what I can see. All right. And if we're looking at his experience, he doesn't have too much experience, to be honest with you, right? So working on DAM, which there's nothing really linked to it, there's nothing like that. Then a blockchain lead, and obviously, he basically seems the main dude behind it, right? And obviously, as it stands, Myria's offering is very much blockchain nodes, not games yet. Okay, so obviously it's offering potential of games, as in but this is what we can see. So he, in my opinion, is the main person behind this. But yeah, obviously he's pulling off the node system, which is great. But just observations and things that you should look at, okay, with all of this stuff. And yeah, so, but with all that said, right, obviously Myria has done very, very well. And regardless of all this other stuff that I've pointed out to you, right, this has always been kind of apparent anyway. So, stuff to think about. But where do we think this can go? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Myria market cap right now, and it's 120, right? 120 million. And we got to get it to Gala Games at its current moment, which is 800 million right there. So, calculations out already. Okay. So if we was to do 100 and why am I such a bad memory? So we got 110, right? Was it? Sorry, 120, man. 120. So 120, and then we're going to times that by 6.5, and that gives us just under, so maybe it was 7x, right? You could say, right? So we'll do that again, actually. So 120 times by 7 equals 100. Yeah, okay. Around about, okay? So we could 7x if we was to get to Gala Games' market cap right there. And I can show you that real quick on my little sheet. So where are we at? Here you go. Well, we'll put 7x, or we'll put 6.7 because actually we're in the middle of that. So 6.7, that's how much we could potentially get if it was to get to Gala Games market cap right now. Okay, so there's still some room inside of this potentially. And yeah, but what else could we say as well? We could say is obviously all-time high. Where are we going with that? All right, so all-time high right now is, well, not right now, all-time high before was 5.2 billion. So calculations are ready again. Okay, so 120, and this is a million, and then we're going to times that by 41. It gives us just under 5 billion. Okay, so maybe 42. Okay, so 42x still potentially it could be had. So here you go, literally 42. It could still be had if you got to the all-time high market cap of Gala Games. All right, so there's a lot more into it. And like I said, with GFAL, GFAL, there might be more money coming into. Well, not might be. There will be more money coming into the market, right? So the calculations I'm doing from the previous bull market, we might even be able to double those, right? Or maybe not double, but a lot more. So I'm just showing you the base of what could happen, right? And every cycle, more money comes in. So there's some bullish action for Myria. But yeah, obviously the stuff I've shown you in terms of like potential red flags with Myria and all that is still doing well without it, right? And obviously the pro and the con, that was what it is. Got GFAL does not have nodes, right? So that's probably a negative because you can see that with Myria, the main thing is nodes, and obviously people are very bullish on it, right? So yeah, that's probably the one thing I'd say GFAL could probably improve on. If they did have something like that, that would be great. But then obviously with Myria, it would be great if the main CTO who has all the experience came and did AMAs. Also, we actually saw them drop games, and everything started working on it, right? And from a game side, I'd love to see that. So yeah, you never know, that will happen in the future. I hope so. But yeah, the next one, okay, that we need to look at is going to be, let's have a look. Which one? Maybe you saw my tab at the top, right? But it is player free. What is it? How do you say it's playerful games? All right. So all of these coins, by the way, are in my Patreon, and we scored them a long time ago in the cheat sheet. So if you're paying attention and you're in the Patreon back then, you would have got in quite early into these projects. But it doesn't mean it's not over, because there's a lot more to go in the market. We've got another 2 years, I would say, of the bull market. So yeah, a lot more to go. But anyway, you can see we're having a lovely little uptrend on this now. Currently at 43 million, so the lowest out of the bunch, actually, right? 43 million in market cap. So yeah, pretty cool. And if you don't know anything about this, I'm just going to show you real quick. So Playerful Games right here is actually based on Avalanche. So it's got a lot of buzz around that, actually. And yeah, it got some pros and some cons, right? So yeah, in terms of the pro, it actually does have nodes, right? So it has master nodes as well. So obviously this is why it's in the Gala Games or Gala Killers platform as well, because it has nodes, right? And obviously nodes being very popular. And in terms of games, like obviously it has a game, right? So just to quickly show you what it is, it has game out, right? So it's Nexus is their actual game. So I'll give you a quick little bit of footage of that, actually. Play this real quick. So this is the actual game which is out, and let's forward it to some gameplay. So this is the gameplay, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I've heard a lot of people speak about this and got quite good reviews about the actual game. And you can see it looks quite entertaining to play. A bit like Halo, right? You can see that this is the Halo of crypto. You could even say that, right? So yeah, pretty cool. Something I will play probably. But yeah, at the moment it's actually out on on Epic Games. Okay, so on the actual Epic Games store. So you have a game out, which is pretty damn dope, right? So it's got some pros on it. But yeah, in terms of some of the other stuff we need to look at is obviously team. I showed you teams and the other ones. So yeah, what we're going to do is look at that a little bit. So we're looking at the founders, right? And the reason I look at founders is because these are the movers and the shakers. Obviously, they could hire great people. That's all good, but people leave, man. Like, and it's a lot of the time that you mentioned when they leave or all this stuff. We're in the tech industry. I'm in the tech industry. People leave all the time. I'm a contractor. I go around. It's not really somewhere I stay all the time in, right? Some people stay full time for years. That's fair play. But we look at the movers and shakers, which are the founders, and these are the people you want to think about. There's a reason when a CEO steps down or a founder, usually shares plummet and all this other stuff, right? It's because they are the movers and shakers. So anyway, so Jonathan here, he's a CSO, and he's got fairly good experience, but obviously nothing like what we saw in some of the other actual platforms like GFAL and Myria. Nothing like that. But yeah, he still does have pretty good experience, right? And yeah, and a couple of different things. He's been a founder before, but seems to be quite a lot in like property marketing and that type of thing. All right. And he's got some interactive studios that he was involved in as well. But yeah, a lot of his experience is marketing. Okay. But then it's him and his son who have actually started this company, right? And obviously his son doesn't have too much experience. Okay. So that's just something to think about, right? So he's a game artist, architect, and also co-founder. But yeah, out of the bunch, the experience isn't as big in this project, right? It doesn't mean it won't do well. It doesn't mean it's a great project. It just means that there's stuff to think about, right? You need to be aware of what you're getting into. So that is why I'm showing you this stuff, right? So yeah, but where do I think this could go? Well, it's time to do the calculations again, right? So yeah, let's get into that real quick. So if we're going to look at the market cap was 43 million, right? We can see that here, 43 million. And then going to get it to Gala Games at this current moment, which is 800 million. So a little bit of a calculation right there to be done. So it was 43 million. So 43 times by, I think, 16. Oh, well, it's actually not right at all. Okay, so it's probably a bit more than that. Okay, so it's 43 times by, I think we're going to go for 19, man. Let's see if that works. Pretty close. All right, so 19x. All right, if we were to get to market cap of Gala Games right now, and it was going to be a Gala Games killer, right? So just to show you that on the board, we've got what was it, 19? Yeah, 19. Okay, so 19x to get to that, and that is if playful games manages to do it, right? So still some little bit of juice in there, and obviously we might see some prices drop at some point. So weigh that into the equation. You might see more relaxes if you can get in a lower price. Okay, so yeah, that's that. And then what about if we were super bullish and all that, and we wanted to go to the all-time high, which was 5.2 billion, right? 5.2. So we do the calculation for that. So we do 42 million, and then we're going to times that by 100, and that gives us actually lower. All right, we could do more. Okay, my calculations off right there. That's 4.2 billion, and we actually got to 5. So we could even say probably 125x, right? I would say. So let's do 42 times by 125. There you go. Pretty damn close, right? 125x. So mad. All right. So look, this is changing. 125x still left in this bad boy, but obviously not including dilution. Okay. So obviously dilution is the stuff where you need to research more, because obviously if this was to do this right now and just get all the market cap of Gala and all that right now, then you could see 125x. But the time we want to sell potentially in the next 2 years, it might not be 125x, right? So you got to weigh that into your equation as well. But still lots of gains to be had inside of the projects, all right? So altogether now, right, is this. So we've got potentially some of the stuff that you might be able to see from these coins. This is my little price projection area here, right here. So yeah, read it and weep right there, man. Read it and weep. Okay. But yeah, so pretty cool. So let me get through some of your questions right now. I know you probably left some comments, so I'm gonna have a little read about what you guys have put in. So let's have a little look. Okay. So you've got Cat, Sinverse, Fabwell. All right. So my opinions on these, I think Cat's actually pretty dope. I know some people have kind of gone against that, but I still think it's really good. Doge Chain is relatively new, and it's based on Doge Chain. It's on a data ecosystem. You've got Elon Musk in there and Mark Zuckerberg, and you can see there's a lot of social interaction from it. So I think it's pretty dope, and yeah, it could potentially do quite well. I heard that, so there's a bit of bugs on the app at the moment, but that's fine. We've got things to work on, right? It's early stage projects. Nothing's going to be perfect. There's always some red flags. Fabwell, yeah, looks pretty good as well. In terms of if it's going to compete and be the Call of Duty, for example, because they've got a game called Arsenal, pretty cool. But you're going against, for example, Shrapnel and stuff like that. And I think Shrapnel will probably take that market cap away from them, because Shrapnel is just unbelievable in terms of a crypto game. So yeah, but Fabwell's still got legs, man. Sinverse, in my opinion, I'm going to disappoint all of you. I'm not bullish on Sinverse, straight up. Like, I've reviewed it, I've done a deep dive on it. You can check out my video of it and what I really think about it. But just off the bat, I think they have a lot more to do. And also, if you're going to build a metaverse and it's going to be the sin of the world, you need to be full-time on the project, and they don't seem to be full-time as a team. So yeah, and also other red flags for me is, obviously I'm a YouTuber. I'll constantly get spam about Sinverse. So it seems like someone's paying somebody to just spam comments, all right, to promotes Inverse, but they haven't done updates since last year. So obviously, if you're looking to invest in something and do well, not financial advice, you need to see growth, right? You need to see a lot more progression. I haven't seen that from them, right? So that's an honest opinion about that. It's just my opinion, though. I might be wrong. That's fine, right? Yeah, we all have opinions. But yeah, what else we got? Do a video on Moblad. You'll have more subscribers. Okay, cheers, bro. I don't know what that is, Moblad, but I will check it out. Mobland, sorry, Mobland. I've got to learn to spell, right? I'll write that down and I'll check it out, man. Thank you for sharing. So we got hi, check please. What's that? Retro. I just watched a live stream on test version of the game. Okay, you know what? Let's check it out right now and have a little look, see what that's all about. Retro. Okay, retro. Let's do it. I feel like I've heard of this already, so I might have seen it. Which one is it, man? There's a couple. I'm assuming it's this one, right? Retro Moon, because it's the top one there. It's not on coming out with this. Why is it not? Can you let me know which one it is, maybe? That would be really cool, Zen, because I'm not finding it. So, but yeah, maybe we can look at someone else's and then let me know which one it is so I can be specific with it. All right. So we'll check out this one as well. So have you heard much about XIA games? Node sales going on at the moment on Arbitrum. Okay, looks pretty cool. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so we got XAI and it's this one, I assume, right? Too many of these tickets are the same, man. Too many of those tickets are the same. So yeah, oh wow, market cap really low. If that's the right one, unbelievable market cap in terms of really, really low. So yeah, let's check this out, man. Let's check it out. Not loading at the moment, but it should just be my internet. Yeah. Okay, so while that is loading, if let it load, okay, it's loading. Cool. Dope. Okay, Elon Musk is in this, yeah. I assume is that Elon Musk because it looks like him a bit. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is more of like a NFT project, I would say, right? As an yeah. So basically tailored all around him, I assume, right? But yeah, funny. I mean, in terms of reviewing this as a project, like, they're not docs as a team, for example, right? From what I can see, as in maybe I'll have to do a bit more digging. I can check it out later on if you was part of the Patreon. Then yeah, I can definitely put this into my list and do a deep dive on it if you want me to. But yeah, at the moment, obviously, I'm not seeing the docs team because you cannot see the phases. But yeah, that's the stuff I would like weigh into my equation when I'm looking at this stuff. At the moment, it's more of a meme. Okay. And yeah, one page website as well. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like bullish on this project. It just looks like an okay little gem. I'm sure it might have some run up or something, but this isn't something I would put in my portfolio personally, right? But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna go back to retro. All right. So you've retro craft, right? So let's go and check that out. Thanks for sharing this as well. So retro craft, is that going to come up? Let's just Google it, man. Retro craft. Not them trainers, obviously. Okay, coin. Here you go. Okay, nice. Market cap very low. Nice one. That's good. It's very good. Straight off the back. And then how long has this been out for? Not long. That's pretty good. A good sign as well. Let's check out the site. Okay, that loaded nicely. Okay, cool. So it's a bit like Minecraft, right? So hence the retro craft, right? Which is cool. Got coming soon for iOS and Android. PC out already. That's good. As in, it's good that they're gonna do cross-platform. Yeah, let's have a little check out of the trade real quick. Integration. Okay, so no gameplay at the moment, just scenes, stuff like that. Yeah, so we want to see some gameplay because that would be good to see. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, the thing is it original? That's anything. A Sandbox obviously have done this now, and obviously that might be able to capture some of the market cap of Sandbox because obviously they're trying to do a similar thing, and there might be a narrative with that. So I wouldn't write it off as in, but yeah, obviously unless they're going to push this with mad marketing, team mad on all this stuff, then yeah. But I mean, they've got a couple of partners, which is good, and are powered by Chainlink as well. But yeah, basically, you might see more of that market cap go to Sandbox, because Sandbox has already kind of put all that out already, right? So something to think about. And obviously, I don't see a team as well on this, so you kind of need to weigh that into your equation. There might be, I'm not saying it's not, but you know, you've got to think about that, all right? And if you go to the white paper, you might be able to obviously you usually see some sort of partners inside of here, but I don't see any. So you're gonna have to dig, okay? And yeah, but yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't know if it would go absolutely nuts, but you know, that's the way it goes, right? Okay, so someone's put Gala did not have a 5 billion market cap at top. It was actually 13 billion. Okay, where was that? Please show me that, because I'd love to see that. I don't know if that's accurate what you're saying, but let's have a look again. I'm going to go on to CoinGecko now. I'm going to look and see if Gala actually did hit a different market cap. So let's check that out. It might have. Let's see. Oh, what is this? Go away. So it's saying as well on CoinGecko 5,400,000,000, and obviously Coin Market Cap has 5.2 billion. So there's some little bit of difference, but not what you put there, mate. 13 billion. I'd love to know, you know, what that was. All right. If you're talking about just diluted, like fully diluted, maybe you mean that. Okay. But we could look at that if you wanted, right? But another thing I'd love to raise about this is that with market caps and all that fun stuff, right? You know, there is dilution and all of this stuff, right? And lots of people back in the day with Gala, when I was in the market, was saying the same thing. Oh, it's going to dilute. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Keep saying that, man, because at the end of the day, it does do absolute crazy gains, right? So if you're going to just look at dilution all the time, you're just not going to make it, man. You know, you're going to let stuff like that put you off, right? Yeah, so next is going to be the lit. Well, next is going to be Lit Lab Games. Yeah, Lit Lab Games is dope, right? I think Lit Labs Games is pretty good. We want to see more games come out. I heard they are actually going to be putting some more games out. So yeah, it could be pretty damn good. All right, and yeah. By the way, Bengal man, yeah, thanks for commenting before. I had a look at some of your picks, man. I mean, very BRC20 orientated, right? There was a couple that I think are pretty cool. I can't remember which one it was. I think it might be Titan X, or no, Chax maybe. So it's like basically a marketplace for BRC20s. So I think they're all cool, but they're all quite risky, right? So, and that's fine. We're in crypto. It's all about a risk, right? So I'm not going to say anything bad about the coins you've picked, but they're quite risky. So just weigh that into equation, because obviously BRC20 is potentially going to be superseded by runes, right? So if you're going to have a marketplace for BRC20 tokens, is that going to be superseded? Just something to think about. Okay, might not be, but that's the bet you're taking, right? So yeah, but thanks for sharing that. I think on another video you shared it, and I did look into it, so thank you for sharing that. Yeah, cat's okay. Like, I've looked into this a bit, and it just scores kind of all right. All right, we've got no standout team players in there, no standout partners. The game's just okay, right? So yeah, it might do well, but you know, I'm not really bullish on it just because of those reasons. It's quite media. All right. All right. So we got let's support UX. Don't hear him personally, but there's no doubt that this lad is 100% genuine. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate your kind comment right there. And yeah, man, you can definitely support me by obviously get the subscribers up. I need to get to 3,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. So, you know, press that subscribe button, and you know, you can support me. And if you want to give me a Christmas present, get me to 3,000. So I started my YouTube channel literally around Christmas time last year. I've been in crypto since 2016, but started my YouTube channel then. So it'll be 1 year, and I could say, look, I got to 3,000 subscribers in 1 year. That would make me really happy. So yeah, please smash the subscribe button. And yeah, you said it's on CoinGecko, but that's not true. So it's went to 5 billion only. Okay, from what I can see, I'm showing you again. All right, 5 billion market cap. You can see that right there, man. Didn't get to 13. So maybe you're talking about fully diluted, I think, assume. And yeah, what else we got? How many X's do you think Lit Labs will do? I think it will do quite well, actually. if I let me unshare my screen and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it because I can look at my cheat sheet, right? And it tells me all I need to know about basically every coin. All right. So Lit Labs, we did review that a while ago. So I'm gonna quickly have a look for you where I think it will go. Lit Labs can do quite well. Okay. If we was to get to Gala's market cap, then on the low side, you're talking to 70x. And on the high side, you're talking like 430x around that. Okay. So yeah, if you want obviously access to the cheat sheet, then yeah, Patreon is where you need to go, and you can get all of that stuff around. You're just giving you a little bit of a preview there. Keep doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I can literally show you from the Patreon. But talking about that, right? I think maybe it's time to actually show you the real value of the cheat sheet, right? And after that, I'm going to show you what I think of the actual market and where we're going at this current moment, right? Because obviously there's a bit of unsettlement with it. Are we going up? Are we going down? And I'll tell you what I think overall, right? So let me quickly show you the little trailer I've got to demonstrate the power of the cheat sheet real quick, all right? So this is Billy Bean. He faces a hard challenge because he's trying to grow a baseball team and he doesn't have a lot of money.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap.
So then his general manager sets him a really hard challenge.
Find players with the money that we do have.
So this being a hard task because how are you supposed to get really good players on a limited budget? Then he meets a guy who changes the whole way of thinking about acquiring players.
Who are you?
I'm Peter Brand.
Peter then shows Billy, Brad Pitt, his secret strategy that can find undervalued players but for a great price.
I believe there's a championship team that we can afford because everyone else undervalues them.
He uses a data-driven approach to pick the diamonds in the rough.
Card counters at the blackjack table. We're going to turn the odds on the casino.
And change the odds he does because he changes history and wins 20 games in a row.
It defies everything we know about baseball.
So why did I show you that? Okay, so Moneyball is actually the strategy what I use. Okay, it's a Moneyball cheat sheet. That's what I've got, and I'm using the same strategy that they used in that film, right? And obviously this is a true story. Okay, as you saw from that, and yeah. So if you want to know how that actually applies to crypto now, right? Well, check this out. Introducing the Moneyball cheat sheet. So how does it work?
Step 1.
You have to find the potential coins by keeping your ears to the streets, digging deep into the crypto realms, find those diamonds in the rough. After that, I add the coins to my system, which I currently have over 70 coins already reviewed, and it's growing, which brings me to
Step 2.
I review each coin with 7 different criteria, and they are teams and advisors, the partners, the idea, the website, the product, the social media presence, and the coin utility. I then proceed to give these coins a specific grading criteria from 1 to 10. Then we combine the scores to get an overall ranking for them, and that lets us separate the good from the bad, the weak from the strong, giving us the best possible chance to get some good coins in the up and coming bull run. And I didn't stop there. No.
Step 3.
Price projections. So you can get my price projections for each and every single coin. I give you 2 price projections, one bullish target and one super bullish target. And this is using data from the last bull run to be able to project where we think some of these coins might go. So there you have it, man. If you haven't seen that before, I hopefully have. If you have seen it before, then just drop comments and stuff like that. But the power of that is here. Okay, so this is actually my cheat sheet. If I was to go right, you can see all of the stuff that I actually have scores for, and I have 102 coins inside of here. And obviously a lot of these projects that I reviewed is stuff that people are interested in, I'm interested in, and it was scoring them to get the best possible coins out of this. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of them right here, some of the ones that you've actually mentioned as well, some of the ones I reviewed and showed you. Yeah, so literally all here. Okay, and stuff to notice if you're just looking at the top part here, this is not really going to be amazing information that you can see on the right. It's bull run scenario, which is quite valuable because if it's gone through a bull run, right, so you might want to weigh that into your equation, right, to what you're looking at. And you can see a lot of the coins I found early. All right, so like stuff like Casper, things like that. Yeah, lots of coins I found early, right? This is part of the cheat sheet. And also, if I was to bring your attention down here, right, we've got the actual cheat sheet down here, and then also you've got different things. So rules to how I actually review. So you can actually learn how I actually review these all. And you got to be reviewed. So this is stuff which is actually going to be coming out on the sheet. This is where my eyes are heading. There is a lot of really good coins inside this area right here that I haven't even reviewed fully myself, but I'm putting stuff what I'm hearing here, right? And then it all breaks it down into different categories, as you can see here. So we've got AI, gaming, NFTs, metaverse, ETH killers, Bitcoin killers, real world assets, music, social media, supply chain, infrastructure, entertainment, and DeSci in insurance. And also you've got layer ones and all that fun stuff, right? But how does that even work? Okay, so it actually works. So you can find opportunities, for example, from 0 to 5 million market cap, and you're going to see all the top 10 coins which are ranked inside of there in each genre, right? And after that, you're going to be able to see from 5 to 10 million and top 10 in that, and then also 10 to 30 million, top 10 in that, which are all scored really, really well, right? So this allows us to find the diamonds in the rough, and that brings back to how Moneyball works, all right? That's exactly what we're doing, Moneyball inside of crypto, right? So really, really cool stuff there. And, it's really, really good. So if you want to be actually part of this, then yes, join the Patreon, and you can see, you can either scan that QR code right there, or just go on the link in the description, and you can get inside of the business class tier, right? And we're running out. So I had this at 50 spaces before. Now there's only 20 left. So get in while you can. And there's a lot of really good stuff in here as well. So when I'm buying coins, I'm letting you know, and there's buy signals to when I'm buying. Sell signals are coming soon. I have a really good strategy to when to sell. And I'll be dropping that inside of here very, very soon. Obviously, I'm focusing my time on buying right now rather than selling, because I'm all about accumulation. And as you can see, the market is starting to drop, and this is the opportunities to buy, right? So it's not, in my opinion, sell times at all, right? And obviously, I have experience from 2016. So up to you what you want to do, right? It's all about long-term investing, in my opinion. You can track my portfolio, see what I've actually got as well, and up to you what you want to do with that information. But yeah, VIP Discord is really, really good, I must say myself. So yeah, we've got quite a big community there now, and all talking about our coins and potential coins that are coming up, and yeah, I'm reviewing them in there as well. So pretty cool. But definitely check it out if you can, and appreciate all the support. Okay, so other stuff that people have mentioned. So this guy right here, I was explaining this Moneyball to my wife with crypto just a few weeks back, received a yawn. Tell me when we're rich. So glad you used that. Thank you, brother. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, my wife's the same, man. I'm married as well. And, lots of people who don't understand crypto, that's what they're about, man. They don't really understand. It goes with their head. I try to just keep it to, crypto people. This is one of the reasons I started the channel, because obviously I know a lot about crypto. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And it was to literally build a community of like-minded people, right? I'm sure the people you might be around might not, I don't know, maybe they're interested in it, maybe they're not. But a lot of people I grew up with and all that, they're not really interested in this stuff. So I was just telling them about opportunities, they're missing all of them, and then they're the people buying at the heights, and you're like, what are you doing? So yeah, I think it's one of the things where, you're part of this community. Hopefully you'll join the Patreon as well, and obviously subscribe. And yeah, we can talk about it. You know what it is, right? So but it's a great theory. It's a really good one. There's a guy called Ian Bellina who did this in the last cycle. He used the cheat sheet, and he turned 20,000 into 5 million by using the same strategy I'm using. He's now progressed on and got another company, and it's doing something with AI in a similar space. But this is all about in-depth research. If you want to know how he done it, this is a strategy, right? So there's a lot of power in it. What else we got? What's this? In Time. Also In Time with Justin Timberlake. Yeah, man. In Time's a dope movie, and it's kind of crazy if you watch that movie right now. It's like, oh my god. Definitely a cool movie. If you're into sci-fi and all that, In Time's a really good movie. Definitely recommend it. Thanks, Lewis. It's a good shout. What else? Okay, so we're gonna go into like the overall market, right? What's going on with Bitcoin? And obviously this is going to be playing into the hands of our alts as well, right? So I'm just going to quickly show you the screen and where I'm at. Okay, so Bitcoin. All right, so on one of my streams, I think I was with Crypto Archie, we're talking about where we think Bitcoin's going to go, and I showed him this. Okay, and this is one of my overall like rejections of the market. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I applied to this, right? But I'm just showing you a couple right now. And this is actually how I managed to buy the bottom as well on Bitcoin. You can actually go and check this. One of my first videos, you can see I bought the bottom. This when I started my channel. But yeah, basically, there's reasons I think that we was going to go down. All right, and I feel like we still might. So these are Fibonacci's extensions, if you don't know what these colors are, right? But just zooming into you and showing you how we can use these, right? So we are in a stage in the market where we're not at all-time highs. We're not at the halving yet, but we're getting there, right? We're getting there, right? So if we was to look at the yellow line, you can see here, like this is what happened before. So we went to the yellow line, just about got over it or roundabout. Then we dropped, right? And then we really went into that halving hype cycle, right? And that's the second halving ever, right? We go up, we do the same thing, all right? So we had our top and all that fun stuff. Then we were like, oh my God, this is like the bottom, right? And then we had our little hype, and then we went to the yellow line right here, and then started to drop, all right? That was what, this is Bitcoin, if you didn't know. And then, you know, went into the halving, we had the COVID thing. Obviously, can't say that on camera or whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. Then we went and we exploded after that, okay? Went on to our madness over here. And then if you think about where we're at right now, okay, we are looking at a very similar stage, right? So we've had our tops, right? Maybe I need to adjust this line here. But this still stands. And look, we've hit the yellow line, might go up above it or below it, but that is our resistance right now, isn't it? Right? So what do I expect to happen? I expect us to consolidate, right? I don't expect us to go really, really high, right? I expect us to try to just do this type of thing. Maybe we get back here, right? And if you're wondering what this line is, what is that actually saying? Let's check it out. So it's currently saying 28K, all right? That's what that line is currently showing us, 28 to 30K around that. So what is this? Yeah, so 29K around there, these time areas right here, and that is that, okay? So you never know. We might see that, all right? I'm not saying we will, but we might. And if we were to, for example, go even further again, then we've got this resistance here. And that resistance that's showing currently at 50, what's that? 54K. So, you know, some resistance lines to consider right here. And you can see how this has worked basically for a long, long time. Okay. So it's not really showing you anything different. It's just using old cycles and data to be able to predict the market. And obviously at the moment, everything's been going as clockwork. And, you know, I bought Bitcoin around about, I think it was like 16K-ish, and already seen a 3X basically on that, right? So, you know, it's not rocket science to be able to do this stuff. You just need to be paying attention of what's happening. Okay. So other stuff that I've been looking at as of recent. So that was like, you know, bigger time frames. So the stuff like I showed you here, this is on a daily chart. This one right here is on a daily chart, but it is just showing you trend analysis. So I've had this trend here going for a bit now, and it's just showing you obviously support and resistance and what's been happening. So we had a lot of support, then we broke it, and then that became resistance, and then now we got above it. So what do you think is going to happen next, man? I mean, I think we might use this line right here as support, okay? And maybe we'll go above, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll drop below, and that's maybe where you might see a bit more flushing out, right? Because obviously this is being used right now as quite a big factor, okay? So stuff to think about in terms of altcoins, right? Like where we at with altcoins? Basically, right? Altcoins, this is something I've used for Fibonacci. This chart doesn't allow me to go all the way back on all the cycles, but it does show you that this is the altcoin index. So it's a total market cap of altcoins, excluding Bitcoin. So it's only literally altcoins, right? So literally, if we're looking at this, this shows you here on the left side, it's like the amount of trillions that came into the market at that point. And where are we right now of alts? Okay, so right now we're here. Okay, so if you thought, oh, you know, we're killing it, it's going to be the top of the bull market anytime soon with alts. Nah, man, anything you've seen right now is nothing, right? And this is why the cheat sheet needs to be used to be able to accumulate right now. Okay, now, and also carry on going into the market because there's still accumulation phases. It's not like, oh, we're getting to the tops and all that, because you can see where we're at. And why this is important is, for example, we had our little run up before. So we had a bull market run up, but it didn't even get to the yellow line. And then we got a resistance on the red. This is the old one, so it's 2020. And then we got to here, got rejection like around here. And then, you know, we started getting rejections and stuff like that around here, but then we broke through and got through, right? and that was like where the bull market really kicked off. So if you think about where we are right now, obviously broken above that, so we could say we're around this stage, right, of the market, and then we're probably going to get some resistance around here, probably consolidate inside of that, and then you might see it drop again. Who knows? We have to see, right? But we've got a long time. We've potentially got another towards 2 years of a bull market, right? So yeah, and when it comes down to like taking profits and all that stuff, my strategy isn't to necessarily take profits at these times, right? Because it's all about DCAing and accumulating the best possible projects. This is why you can't be paying attention to hype only, right? If you're paying attention to hype, then to be honest with you, you've got a high chance of losing the bag, all right? Because it's a long-term game. 2 years, man. Like I'm saying to you, it's 2 years potentially where we're going to hold these bad boys for, right? And you know, if you're just literally going and looking and say, oh my god, this one's got hype, it's going up right now, you're going to be buying tops, and also it might consolidate, it might never come back. This is why this team is very important, the partners are very important, the product, website, all of that, it all plays into a narrative. And also, will it come back, right? Are people in it for the long term, or are they here to just make a quick buck? And obviously they're preying on you, the people who are just trying to make a quick buck, right? And I'm not trying to make a quick buck, I'm trying to be here for the long term, right? Started this journey in 2016 and it's carrying on now. Okay. So yeah, so let's just quickly look at some of your other comments real quick before getting out of this bad boy. But we've got, so beam major correction. Yeah, well, it's kind of just said and going into narrative what I just told you, right? So beam, if you really look at it, like it's okay, it's an okay project or whatever, as in but then it's been really, really hyped by, I think it was I can't remember his name now, the really big YouTuber, right? He's been talking about a lot of Avalanche and Beam and all that. So it was based off hype, right? And when that hype goes, you're just left with the core of the fundamentals, which obviously I can give you in the cheat sheet, and that's all what's left. Okay, so hype goes, what's left? That's what you need to think about. So don't only fall for hype. You can look at hype and be like, okay, is this warranted? And then maybe look for a good entry around those points. But don't just go into hype only, man. As in, because it might not work out for you, right? We have to be in this for a while. But yeah, we've got. Okay, what's your prediction for Nakamoto Games? Yeah, Nakamoto Games is a pretty cool project as well. I can quickly have a little look on my sheet so I can tell you. We have reviewed it a while ago now. So let me quickly check. So we have at the moment I benchmarked it against Gala. Okay, so Gala Games Killers, and then yeah, you could get a 5x out of it if you were to get the market cap right now. But if you was to get the all-time high, you would get 35x. So potentially you could do quite well still out of it. I mean, yeah, the quality of it is quite good. They've actually got games out as well, which is a great plus. They've got metaverse stuff coming out too as well. So, you know, I don't think that it's just hype. I think there is good quality products with it. It has potential. So yeah, still pretty good hold in my opinion. But yeah. What else was I going to talk about today? I think that might actually been it, right? But yeah, so things I want to talk to you about, right? And obviously they're all good. Hopefully you like them. But the cheat sheet, obviously, you should definitely check that out. Link, link in description. All right. So if you want the cheat sheet, you know, get onto the Patreon and yeah, sign up. Only 20 spaces left, and hopefully you can be one of them. And yeah, let me turn off your comment, John, real quick, so I can kind of talk through stuff. And then yeah, also, yep, if you were here in the beginning, then I need to get to 3,000, man. That's kind of what I want for Christmas. All right. So if you can press that subscribe button, that would be absolutely amazing. And you could get me to get to that 3,000 mark, right? So for example, on here, look, so close. I'm so close. All right. I'm literally a couple of hundred away and I'll be there, man. And I've 200 videos now. So yeah, literally that. And if you don't actually know, I probably haven't spoken about my experience. If you're new here, right? So I'm actually a UX expert. So I'm a UX designer / researcher by trade. I've got 11 years experience in that in the tech industry. I worked with many different brands. And yeah, so that's maybe why you want to subscribe. Maybe why you want to take the cheat sheet very seriously, because it's all about products. We're in this, right, for products at the end of the day, right? So I'm just trying to apply what I've learned over the years inside of crypto and combine it and give you a cheat sheet, right? But yeah, if you like this video, give it a lovely little like. If you want to let me know about any other coins you think are really, really good, and you know, maybe you want me to review them for you or any of that stuff, let me know what you thought of these coins as well. Drop the comment down below. We'd love to know all your opinions. This is a community at the end of the day. The whole point of why I started this is I want to have a community we can chat about. And as you saw with one of the people just there talking about, oh, he spoke to his wife, you know, we want to be a community, people who can actually be like-minded and speak to each other. So yeah, feel free to join the Patreon to really get like the alpha inside of that, but also in the comments you guys can have a chat as well. So pretty cool. But if I don't see you guys, right, I will obviously see you at the top, and that's the mission on here, seeing you at the top. So yeah, peace.